everybody, it's Pop Trigger time.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you.
Brett, Grace, Jason, and our special guest in the studio, Humble the Poet.
Humble the Poet.
So awesome to have you here.
Welcome, sir.
Welcome. You join us. We learned just a moment ago you're from Canada.
I am Canadian.
You are also a rapper. You're a writer.
You're an
artist.
Everything.
I do a lot.
And you have a great relationship with your mom. I watched the YouTube video with you and your mom. It was fan-freaking-tastic.
Yes, I can continually entrap my mom into being in these videos.
How do you use your mom in your videos?
I get her to review my stuff.
Oh,
so I'll play
that's
her my
clever.
music and I'll get her to review it. And knowing that she doesn't approve of swearing, knowing she doesn't approve of hip hop in general, knowing she doesn't approve of anything I do. And then we kind of just delve into her constant disapproval of me as a human being.
Is that really what it's like?
And she's the sweetest woman. It's
She
so
is the
great.
sweetest woman. She has a big heart. She's very superstitious. So her number one rule is the past couple of things that she bragged about in life fell through. She bragged about my sister's husband and they got divorced. She bragged about a job and she lost it. So now her whole thing is just don't brag.
Don't brag.
Yeah.
Be utterly negative.
Pretty much. So now if I'm
No.
like, hey mom, something good happened here. I got a book deal, or hey, look at this check. She'll just be like, yeah, but where are my grandkids?
Right, yeah,
She's like, sit down and be humble, right?
Yeah, well, sit down, be humble, and get married. None of this matters unless you're married giving me grandchildren.
Really?
Pretty much.
How much time do you have left on the clock before it gets to be a little too much?
I don't know. So for her only exposure to any adult beyond 20 who isn't married are just like the creepy antisocial people. So when she sees me, she's just like, I don't want you to be that guy.
20 years old. Are you kidding me?
She grew up. She grew up in a village, and people were getting married in their teens. So now and then when folks came here, a lot of people were getting married right after university.
Yep.
So she so when she sees a handful of those guys that are in their 40s that are like working at tech companies or whatever, and they're just kind of in their own bubble.
Right, getting a steady paycheck, having a fulfilling career, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Miserable people.
She sees them as a little bit off, so she doesn't want me to be that, and she thinks I only have a few good years, with my looks until they go away.
What?
I'm just like, Mom, you gotta deal with the manufacturer if you have an issue with what's
You made these looks.
But again, it's hilarious. I take it in jest.
My friend had something similar like that said to her, where her grandmother was like, "You're an Ohio 10, but an LA 6. Don't you want to reconsider the move?" And it's like, we're related.
Who says that?
We are this It's so weird, but I think the people that love you the most can sometimes be like your harshest critics, and you can laugh about it because you know that it comes from a place of love.
And they have this pass of just to be as scathing as possible because they know that allegedly it comes from a loving place. Like my mom's like, you with a beard makes you look 45. I said it, I'm sorry, figure it out. I had to pull over and be like,
Just
what
pulling
just
up.
happened? Yeah.
Stop the car.
Life
That's
flashed
it.
before my eyes.
When I pass people on the side of the road who have pulled over, I'm like, well, they must have trouble with their car. No, their mom just said something really mean to them.
My mom's been doing reverse psychology recently, where she's been, when she came to visit just a couple weeks ago, she was like, I would love to hear about your tattoos now. And I was like, no, you don't. You just want me to stop getting them. And you think that if you pretend like you're into it, that the appeal is gone. It's like, no, I already like them, whether you like them or not.
My mom's last one was, Pamela Anderson got hepatitis from a tattoo needle. And I was like, that news is like 25 years old.
She just found out.
And I can't undo the tattoos I have.
Right. If that news was single, your mom would want it to get married because it's too old.
She was saving that one. That was like the pièce de résistance.
She was.
Man.
I was like, you know what? You got an iPad now. You have access to all this information, and you're just going back into the archive.
You're just going through Wikipedia. Oh my gosh.
So you both have tattoos. I was wondering, when you get a tattoo, and you seem to have a lot of text. She has some text as well. What are some tattoos that you've gotten? Does it really anchor you? Why would you get those tattoos?
I mean, at this point, it's because I just like getting them. I don't think I make these grand, oh my God, this has to have meaning. I just think it's okay, it can be cool and I can live with them and timestamps and
I think
cool
that's more,
events.
I think that's just as impressive as people who have this story behind their tattoo, because I have zero tattoos, I'm afraid. Like the one on your neck, you would have to put me under anesthesia, propofol, the Michael Jackson drug for me to, because it's so
Yeah, which I pretty much was in order to get that. The homeboy had to come over and do one letter at a time because neck tattoos hurt.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But and in the beginning, when I was in high school using fake IDs to get tattoos, definitely it was this has got to mean something. It's gonna matter forever. And I was like, yeah, that reminds me of who I was when I was 17. And
cool.
I was a dumbass.
You are a rapper. You are a poet. We have a clip of one of your music videos. I Will. Let's play that right now.
And them weekends at the beach, we'll stand up on the sheets. My man up on the beat, rebapping honestly. Believe me, music be the movement, get you on your feet. And believe me gladly, a breath of fresh air when everybody be sounding like Sierra, baby
I know
daddy,
you
let go.
won't, but yes I will. 'Cause I don't play no game, and I don't play no game.
I was blown away by that video. Just
was
the
too.
Thank you
lighting,
so much.
the colors, everything.
Well
It was-
done.
So tell us a little bit about the story behind that song.
So the song itself, "I Will," was inspired by the first time I met The Rock. I met him out here at a movie premiere, and later on, I work closely with Lily Singh, who's you know, a YouTube royalty, and she was shooting with him one day, and I was in charge of directing him. And so while we're changing lenses, I'm feeding him lines, and then during one of the scenes of changing lenses, and he just turns to me and says, "Hey, Humble, you just had a birthday recently, eh? Happy birthday!" And just like every guy in the room just stopped and looked at me like, he knows who you are type deal. And I was just like, this guy's so nice.
Yeah.
How can he be so nice and at the top of his game, and everybody telling you like, you know, Hollywood's so dog eat dog, you gotta be a jerk, you gotta be an asshole to survive. And I think what I realized is like, yeah, you can be a really nice person as long as you have an insane work ethic.
What is it like to direct The Rock?
It's surreal. You're just like, well, here are the lines if you want to say them.
Right, exactly. Sir, you seem like you can make your own decisions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make suggestions.
And you didn't say the lines the way I asked you to say them, but
You're The Rock.
that was good. That was perfect. Thank you for knowing who I am. Like, it was that. And I just think realizing that he had a really impeccable work ethic. So that was kind of what the chorus is. I know you won't, but yes, I will. I won't play games. And I think that was the point when I realized like being out here in LA especially, like it's not about networking. It's not about playing games. It's not about finagling. It's about just working your butt off. And,
Do the work.
yeah, do the work. And a lot of people don't want to do the work, so they're doing all the funny stuff to cut corners. So that's kind of where the track came from. And then the music video was me just trying to bring it back to like when I was a kid watching the Busta Rhymes videos, the Missy Elliott videos, just these events and these moments where there's so many different stories being told, and you can watch it like 17 times and still pick up on new little Easter eggs.
You are preaching and singing my tune here, because I've been saying that about music videos back in the 90s and early 2000s, that they were just that, events and moments.
they're
That
moments.
music videos aren't giving you that anymore. When it comes to doing your music though, I was on the treadmill watching that video, getting my whole existence, and I thought, what were some of the adversity that you faced when wanting to get into rap? Because people have this myopic view of what rap should be and who should be rapping.
Well, I mean, obviously, a lot of people don't have a context of what the city of Toronto is. Like
Yeah,
what it really
you're from.
means to be from there. When you're from there, your family is most likely from a different country, and you've come into the city where you're just exposed to a ridiculous amount of culture, language, food, energy. And I think what happens is when you start to share those influences with the rest of the world, people just start throwing words at you like cultural appropriation, identity crisis. Like, you're not black, you can't rap. And you're sitting there like, I grew up listening to, and I've been listening to NWA since I was like 7.
Say it.
You know, these aren't things that anybody was telling me I had permission to or not to do. And I think what I appreciate though about hip hop's not a very welcoming genre for anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. You really kind of have to stand your ground and take it as it is. Even the top guys are still getting shots at them. So I didn't really have that much of an issue doing that. I think for me, one of the triumphs of this video specifically was finding a collective of artists in Toronto who a lot of people in Toronto believe you got to go to LA to make it happen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, we're gonna shoot something epic and amazing in the city.
It is
Toronto.
epic and amazing.